Friday. Getting ready. I'm at this 2950, I believe it's Island Drive, Onslow County Beach access, but there's a sound access right here across the street. It's supposed to be really warm today, so I'm gonna lose this long sleeve shirt. Carry it with me just in case. But it looks like I can get on the sound right here and go out here and see if I can catch some reds or maybe some flounder. Here's what I'm going to use today. My all-time favorite, as soon as I get this mess untangled, I'm going to use this. That's a blue water candy jig head. I love them. And I'm going to put a 4-inch Berkeley Gulp shrimp on. I'll fish that primarily on the bottom. And then I've got a Super Spook Junior right here that I'm going to use if I see any topwater activity. And then last but not least, this spoon, just in case I want to chunk it at something big that hits the water. Hopefully this drag won't be too bad. I'm also going to take this cast net with me. I always like to carry one. It's the smallest, about the smallest cast net you can get as far as diameter. I think it's like 4 feet, but I can actually throw it off the kayak. If all else fails, I'll catch some finger mullet, put a flounder rig on, Carolina rig, and fish them off of there. And now comes the hump. Getting all this crap out to the water. This is my beloved Slayer Propel Moby. My daughter named it because it's so big. I guess in the world of pedal kayaks it's not huge, but compared to the kayaks I had before this one, it's pretty big. Because current's not gonna be bad enough. All right, let's put this beast in the water.
You know, a lot of people who fish off of boats will tell me that they don't want to kayak fish because they don't like the idea of being kind of cramped up and sitting on a kayak all day. They want to be able to move around. I think unless you're a kayak fisherman, you don't really understand that kayak fishing is a more intimate experience with fishing. I don't spend all day on the boat. Actually, I spend a lot of time doing exactly what you're seeing here. I'll park the boat on the sound and get out and stand in the water and fish. I'll use my cast net, which you'll see a little later. You'll see dolphins and sea turtles and rays swim by. It's just truly a more intimate, natural experience for fishing. I don't think you get that when you fish off a boat. The feel of the water, the feel of the wind, the just the sounds and sensations. A lot of the water that I fish in, especially if you're talking about in the intercoastal waterway, in these tidal creeks, is so shallow that boats won't come in there. Sometimes the water is 6 to 8 inches deep, and I think this whole day of fishing, I never got in water that was over 3 or 4 feet deep. It's just kind of a neat angle on fishing, and it just brings about an experience that you really can't get anywhere else. One common tactic that I'll use when I'm fishing on the sound is to put one rod out with a live bait or a cut bait. And in this picture, you see I've got that one rod mounted on my boat. It has cut bait on it, basically on a drop rig. And then on the down current side of that, I'll cast an artificial rig. Here I'm using the Blue Water Candy jig with a chartreuse Berkeley Gulp swimming mullet, and you'll see I end up hooking a little flounder. In the process of trying to get him in, I got my line all tangled up, so you see I'm hand lining him in here. Stingray. Big stingray. Look at that guy. Oh. Oh well. Where are the stingrays? while I was fishing, I kept noticing schools of bait fish swimming by me. So I took a little pause to get my cast net out and caught me a handful of them. I thought they were finger mullet at first, but once I dumped them out into the boat and looked at them, I saw that they were actually little baby menhaden. I always like to fish with live bait if I can. The predator fish in the water are going to be more likely to eat the bait fish that are swimming around them than anything you're going to cast at them. So I took these menhaden and put them on a Carolina rig and basically cast it out in the water. I put 2 lines out and then just sat back and relaxed.
While you're waiting for the fish to bite, you catch a couple clams, as long as they're 1 inch thick. Holy smokes. That is a sea trout. Oh my gosh. That's the biggest sea trout I've ever caught. Holy smokes. What a catch. Oh man, I'm so psyched. Oh, look at that guy. Holy moly. I'm glad I had the net at the ready, because let me tell you, I was messing around with the camera, messing around with everything, and I wasn't quite ready to catch this guy. Jeez, he's big. Ah, come on, guy. Cooperate here. All right, to the guys who are surf fishing. Nope. Oh, if I drop this fish trying to take this damn picture, I'm gonna be so ticked off. Forget where I learned this. Umbrella bags. Get them from the Walmart. When you catch a fish, put him in it, and then your beer won't taste like fish. Holy moly. Yeah.